Los Angeles had no warning, no omen, no subtle shift in the air to prepare it for the beauty that was about to detonate within its borders. The city shimmered with its usual smug glow, its most polished celebrities posing beneath familiar flashes, blissfully unaware that their hierarchy was seconds away from collapsing. Hollywood moved with the arrogance of a kingdom convinced it had already cataloged every form of brilliance. Its glittering ego, draped in jewels and velvet ropes, throbbed confidently as if tonight promised nothing more than another predictable parade of glamour. But the universe sensed the disruption long before any human did. It tightened, quivered, and seemed to hold its breath, bracing for the arrival of something that defied its own laws. Conversations faltered without explanation. Words died halfway through. A faint hush pressed against people's skin, the kind of instinctual warning the body recognizes before the mind fully understands. And then the moment arrived, in a single, impossible beat of time, taehyung entered the tirtir event. Not like a man stepping into a room, but like a cosmic rupture splitting open reality. The energy didn't simply stir, it burst apart, above the crowd. Chandeliers trembled violently, their crystals rattling like they too were overwhelmed by the figure beneath them. Korea, positioned like hunters awaiting the appearance of a mythical creature, snapped into motion the instant taehyung crossed into view. Their cameras fired in rapid flashes, like streaks of lightning, capturing an image so immaculate it almost felt sacrilegious. The footage they released mere seconds later spread across the internet like wildfire, its clarity so breathtaking that fans compared it to the prologue of a high-budget movie. The lights didn't illuminate him, they worshipped him. They wrapped around his face with unnatural reverence, carving out his jawline and cheekbones as though sculpted by an invisible artist obsessed with perfection. Clad in monochrome, he radiated dominion. His black satin shirt glimmered like liquid shadows, and the sharply cut blazer framed him with a power that seemed engineered to destabilize the entire room. The camera didn't just record him, it adored him, unconditionally. Each frame was so flawless that viewers questioned whether the footage had been enhanced. As he progressed further into the venue, the sound dissolved around him. Voices evaporated. Laughter vanished. Even the air seemed to still itself. Hollywood stars, people normally immune to intimidation, found themselves rooted to the floor, struck silent by the phenomenon in front of them. Staff froze mid-step. VIP guests blinked furiously, as if trying to confirm that the vision before them was truly human and not a beautifully rendered illusion. Taehyung moved with a quiet command, an authority that needed no words. Each step flowed as though the universe itself had choreographed it. A simple nod toward a staff member sent visible ripples of shock through nearby onlookers. A faint smile directed at a guest left them visibly disarmed, breath catching in their throat. L's hyper-precise lenses captured what others missed. The way shadow and light embraced his profile, the gentle curve of his neck as he turned, the soft luminescence clinging to his skin like a second halo. The venue around him faded into insignificance. Gold decorations, iconic faces, elaborate sets, all dissolved in comparison to the presence that now consumed the room. He didn't merely attend the event. He rewrote the atmosphere, bent its structure, changed its gravitational pull. Bodies leaned subconsciously toward him. Conversations curved in his direction. Eyes surrendered immediately, without permission. Then he glanced at the camera, just once, just long enough. He slowed that single second of footage, stretching it into an eternity. His lashes dipped. His hair swayed. His lips curled slightly, just enough to feel like a spell cast across the screen. Fans around the world declared that the expression looked like a glance capable of toppling governments. No one argued. Within minutes, Korea's Instagram malfunctioned under the weight of global frenzy. Comments flooded in faster than the system could process. The platform lagged, stuttered, froze. Languages collided: Korean, English, Indonesian, Arabic, Spanish, Japanese, as thousands of fans tried desperately to articulate what they had just witnessed. People replayed the clip dozens of times, stunned that every single frame resembled a luxury editorial spread. Screenshots overtook social media. News outlets joined the chaos. Anchors joked about the algorithm collapsing, but the numbers made the joke feel uncomfortably close to reality. By nightfall, the video had demolished Yellow Korea's engagement records. Inside the venue, industry elites gravitated toward taehyung like celestial bodies drawn into a star's orbit. A rising Korean filmmaker stared with open admiration, as though watching a masterpiece walk before him. An American fashion editor clutched her chest, whispering that taehyung looked unfairly perfect, more perfect than cameras should legally allow. Female guests clung to one another as he passed, their carefully maintained composure shattered by visuals too powerful to process. Some attempted to look away, embarrassed by how undone they felt. But their gaze always snapped back, helpless against the magnetic pull he radiated. Even seasoned photographers, battle-hardened veterans of red carpets, momentarily lowered their cameras. They needed just a moment to breathe, to absorb the shock, before instinct forced them to resume shooting. Every step he took altered the air. The event no longer felt like a launch or a party. It felt like a phenomenon, a moment destined to be replayed, cherished, dissected, and remembered. A producer whispered to her assistant that she had never seen a room surrender so completely to one individual. "This isn't charisma," she said softly. "This is tectonic." Even security guards, trained to remain expressionless, struggled to maintain composure. One was caught openly staring before snapping back to attention as taehyung walked by. The background music seemed to shrink, as if recognizing that no melody could compete with the force that had entered the space. When taehyung paused near an exhibit display, people gathered behind him instinctively, drawn as though pulled through thick water. Their eyes widened. Their expressions softened with disbelief. Everyone sensed they were witnessing something visually historic, something that might never manifest in such intensity again. Whispers spread. "This moment will be remembered." No one disagreed. Everyone felt it. As taehyung turned once more, the chandelier's golden glow circled him like a halo, sealing the moment in a frame of impossible beauty. Los Angeles had not been visited by a celebrity tonight. It had been visited by an event, an occurrence powerful enough to hush Hollywood for one small heartbeat. It felt as though the entire building leaned closer, listening. The air thickened, heavy with the awareness that everyone inside was caught in the orbit of something unrepeatable. No one dared blink. A veteran Hollywood actor, normally untouched by awe or intimidation, whispered to his publicist, "Now I understand why they call him unreal." His voice held no jealousy, only reverence. Nearby, socialites tugged nervously at their couture gowns, suddenly aware that nothing they wore could rival the presence they faced. Their confident smiles faltered as reality hit. No fabric, no jewel, no designer could compete against an aura that felt handcrafted by the divine. A stylist in the corner clasped her trembling hands. "He doesn't walk through space," she murmured. "He reshapes it." By the time taehyung reached the heart of the venue, a near-religious quiet settled over the room. It was the collective recognition that they weren't watching a man at an event. They were witnessing history wrapped in black satin. History with a pulse, with a gaze, with a presence that no camera on Earth could ever fully contain.